Hello everyone, Manthrow here, and welcome back to a video. I know it's been quite a while. That can be for a different video for a different time if you guys would like. Otherwise, I'm back. Okay, so this video is going to come out, and then there's going to be some other videos that come out down the road, because what I want to do is I have some other stuff planned. So there's going to be a little bit of break between this one and the next one, but with all that spiel aside, let's talk about the main thing going on for RuneScape right now. And the main thing right now is the fact that there is actually quite a bit of an uproar from what I've been seeing on Facebook and on Twitter. Now, I can only imagine what the forums themselves are like, so we know when things change or things get updated, there's usually some sort of repercussion when it comes to RuneScape, and this one is a big one because it affects XP, and not only XP, but it affects farming XP. So that is actually a big thing, because not many people really care for farming, because it's very it's kind of a slow skill trade. There is ways you can go about boosting it, make it faster, but in general, it's not the fastest skill in the world to train. But what they want to do is they want to reduce the amount of XP that is being leaked into the game from the player-owned farm. Now, I know a lot of people are pissed off about this, but at the same time, when you look at the stance that Jagex is trying to make with the skills and the different types of XP, they don't want one method being dominant over all other training methods. So while this is still going to be a good training method, it's still going to yield very good XP. They even said if you do some maintaining and keep after your farm, you are still supposed to see the best XP rate from this method. It's still supposed to be the top farming method. However, you need to maintain, and it's going to come at a little bit of a cost, because this is supposed to be one of the high cost, high reward type deals, which kind of makes sense. You have a lot of food for your animals going in, you have a lot of time base going in, and then as such you get more XP, but not to completely take away from all their skill, all other aspects of the skill. Without any further ado, though, the changes are experience from player-owned farms is now modified by the health and happiness of the animal on checking. So that kind of makes sense. The happier and healthier your animal is, the more XP you should be getting, because that means the better you're taking care of your animal. It shouldn't be a fixed rate, just like growing a tree, which grows up just as healthy as any other tree. So, which means you're doing just the same amount of work. Well, if you have an animal that's healthier than another one, you should be able to get more XP for that, because that means you did something differently with that one to make it happier and healthier. So it makes sense. So breeding in non-breeding pens is 5 times less likely to succeed and 5 times slower. Now, and the regular breeding pen is just the same. There's no changes to that. This makes sense to me, because I know a lot of people are pissed off about it, but the thing of it is, you have to keep in mind, breeding in the small, medium, and large pens was meant to be as a bonus. It wasn't meant to be the main training method. It wasn't meant to be the main way to get animals. So now, instead of people farming through all these creatures, you're going to have to do it by the pen. Which, I know some people are looking at the aspect of just the XP, but there's much more involved to this, and this is why it has to change. And I'll go through some other things here before I, the rest of the changes before I get on that. Food rate has been modified, so small animals will need 1 food every 18 minutes. Medium animals need 3 food every 36 minutes. Large animals need 6 food every 54 minutes. So it gradually goes up. It's not a whole lot on the grand scale, Because if you take it and let's say the 54, you got a total of 3 sets of 18 in there, that actually brings it down, pretty scaled. Like, how they have that worded is kind of weird, because essentially the medium animals only need 1 extra food versus the small animals, because 1, 18, 2, 36. So it just needs 1 more. So keep that in mind as you're going about this. It's not a super step up, but it is enough of a step up that it could cause some people some problems. And I'll have some methods to how you can fix that. Trait hereditary nature has been increased. It is now easier to breed traits into animals born on the player farm. So this is their way of kind of saying, hey, we know we're taking away certain aspects, but here we're going to give you some certain aspects. The same with the next one, which is the shiny boosting traits have all been doubled in effectiveness. So while they may have slowed certain things down, they gave us some other things, which really shouldn't be too much of a big deal. However, now here's what it boils down to. When it comes down to this, what is this going to actually help? Is it going to help XP? No, it's not going to help your XP. This is actually going to hurt a lot of people's XP because it's not overflowing with XP like it was, which I'm sorry about. I don't care who you are, but this part of it was overflowing with XP. Like it was absolutely nuts. It is not meant to be the main or only way to train your farming skill. They want you to incorporate other things, and they've been doing that with incorporating other things into skilling. So, look at the fire making with the incense burners. Look at the entire mining and smithing rework. The Masterworks taking bronze. I mean, like, they're trying to incorporate it that everything is kind of important to the other part. And if you don't do one part, you're going to have to either pay for it or just not do it. Like, so, or do it yourself, but like, it makes sense with the methods they are trying to do. They don't want you doing just one thing all the time, trying to get everything done as quickly as possible. They're trying to do that for the main aspect of economy balancing. When you look at the economy in this game, it is so insanely screwed up, it is not even funny. The mining and smithing rework actually drastically changed that, which was actually fantastic. I actually cannot think of a single flaw in the mining and smithing rework. I know you guys probably can. Personally, I can't. Because you're getting XP the whole time you're mining, but you're not getting as much ore. Well, actually, you're probably getting more ore because the rocks aren't disappearing. You don't have to compete with other people. You just get to mine. And then also, you have a bunch of methods now of getting a lot of ore without actually having to worry about banking. So there's a lot of things going on there. But anyway, per rock, yes, you are getting less ore because you have to fill up the bar, and then you get an ore. But that's not bad. Smithing, since you're not as getting much ore, not as much ore is coming into the game. Ore drops are not existent anymore. Smith items are not existing anymore. So these items are not being pumped into the game anymore by other means. This is a way to fix the farming one. That was the way they fixed the mining and smithing. Now they're starting to fix other skills, and other skills need the attention to fix the economy of the game. Because let's face it, what importance is stuff like planting watermelon in this game? There's hardly any. There's going to be a few people who are planting watermelon, and they're going to be selling it, and some people will buy it for cooking. I believe it's a summer pie. That's all fantastic, but there's it's not going to take a lot to fill those markets. So it kind of really devalues all of the fruit and vegetable type things that are made in the game. Hops, I mean, I don't even hear people worrying about hops or growing hops because there's no point. There's no point, and they're far out of the way. So why would people even bother doing that? Now, if they wanted to start incorporating ways that people will start utilizing the skill, that I agree with you guys. Bush plots should be in more accessible areas. Certain plots need to be more accessible. I don't know about you guys, but in the real world, mushrooms can grow more than just in one area, more than just in a swamp. You know, there should be more ways. Bushes can grow in multiple places. So instead of having all these things set up all over the place, maybe reduce it down so we can just take like all the seeds we want. You know, you want to grow bushes, you want to grow hops, you want to grow your herbs. You know, why not make it one centralized area? And then as you're going through, bam, you get all your XP, you're happier because you're growing more stuff, things are more involved, you're seeing more stuff going on. And how this actually helps into, you know, enforcing it with the player and farm changes is you will need now more food for your animals. So this meaning you're going to need to get more, you know, on average fruits, meats, you know, etc., etc. You're going to need to get more of these kind of things. So when you're going through your player and farm, you actually should be training your rest of your farming skill. I mean, if you go through just a couple cycles and, you know, do a little bit of farming every so often, you'll get plenty of watermelon or whatever you want to grow, and then you can put it into your, you know, your animals' troughs, and bam, you know, they take fruit or veggies, and then bam, you're full, you're set up. I actually had one. Well, I had my original one set up with my Iron Man, and I had maybe 400 per trough. I left it to go for a long time. I've been playing RuneScape for a while. I've been busy with other stuff. And they still did not run out. You know, they were low, but they didn't run out. The main reason being is because when I was doing it, I was participating in the entire skill. Now, it is a little easier for an Iron Man to do it that way because, well, they have to do this kind of stuff anyway. Skipping out on stuff is just not ideal for an Iron Man. Might be more ideal for a regular account because, you know, you can just buy through. You know, there's a bunch of trading methods, you know, you can do to get your stuff that you need to do to get through your skills. Iron Man don't really have that option, so they just take what they can get. But the main reason why this has to change, when you look at it, is for the economical growth of the game. Because if the economy keeps crashing, skillers aren't getting paid, it's something that's been bubbling in this game for a while, and it's starting to get fixed. This is another good step. Plain simple. Lower the XP, increase the food, increase consumption. You're going to make more of a demand for certain items, and then you're going to make more of a demand for these types of animals because less animals are getting pumped into the game, which means more money for you guys too. So I mean, it's win all the way around, except for you just get a little bit less XP. I mean, come on, is that really so bad? I don't think so. But anyway, that'll do it for this video, so thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, later guys.